Yes, I've got a dressing gown on, get used to it. It's freezing here, so deal with it. Shout out to the people on the last video that disliked it. 1-1. West Brom 1, Manchester United 1. Terrible from the boys again. Below par most of the players, or at least average. Terrible performance. That Diane, or however you say his name for West Brom, caused problems throughout the game for Lindelof. Just bullied at the back, so I think De Gea was vital in this game for us, made some quality saves that if it weren't for him we would have lost. And Maguire could win it at the end, and Johnson pulls off a magnificent save. So 1-1, either team could have won it. West Brom probably had the better chances to win it. But from silly mistakes from us again. Just a lack of creativity again, a lack of intensity, a lack of idea. Maguire thinks he's Iniesta at points when he's trying to play the ball, and then he gets caught out of position and he's not got a pace to get back. So there's a lot of issues. Donny come on. I thought Donny did it right today for a change, and actually he wasn't on that long but made some good moves in that, some nice little flicks in that I think it was one of his better performances, even though he was on for a short period of time. Greenwood looked like he was trying to do something as well when he come on. They both didn't have a lot of time though, so. But for me, Martial and Cavani were very poor today. Didn't offer nothing, didn't get a lot of service, but they need to grab the ball sometimes, and they wasn't for me. So let's get into the match notes. Off the bat, West Brom score within less than 1.5 minutes. It was like 1 minute 25 seconds they get the first goal. Diane, whoever you say his name, too strong for Lindelof. You could argue that it may be a foul, but I don't think it is. He's got his hands on him, but do you know what I mean? A few years back, that wouldn't have been called a foul, let alone even looked at. So I don't think it is a foul on Lindelof. He's just not strong enough, and Diane just bullies him. That's literally what it is, and he can't deal with him. Too strong for him, and he scores. And that's less than 1.5 minutes into the game. So Lindelof had a poor game for me. I thought this Diane was causing all sorts of problems for Lindelof the whole game. Aerial balls just all over the pitch, West Brom were beating us to. For the most part, obviously Maguire could win his at the end, but for the most part, 50-50s and everything, West Brom were up for it, and we wasn't winning enough 50-50 balls and things like that, and that's inexcusable. I thought Rashford put a good cross into the box for Martial, who was at the back post, but I can't remember who the player was, but the player got there first, and for me, Martial needs to show more intensity and more fight there and urgency to win that ball, and he doesn't. So a good cross from Rashford, and Martial doesn't do what he needs to do. So Luke Shaw put a good cross in for Bruno Fernandes. Left foot volley, what a goal. And it was behind him as well on his weaker foot, so he has to adjust. And as I said, it's behind him, so it's even more difficult technically. And I think it come off his shin. He volleyed it in off his shin, but world-class quality to be able to do that on your weak foot as well. Great cross and assist from Luke Shaw. Lindelof, though, just messing up the whole game. Like, not clearing it when he should, getting bullied. He's not strong enough on the ball. And I usually feel like that's Maguire making more mistakes, but today it was Lindelof's turn. So he was by far one of the worst players. Well, he was the worst for me today, easily. So that was the first half. Second half, Maguire, you could argue that he wanted a penalty, and it could have been a penalty, but I don't think it is. At first thought, and seeing it, first time I saw it, I thought it was a penalty. But then on the replay, Maguire dives. You think that there's a tangle of legs, but it's really not. He does dive. And he's offside anyway to start the move off. So embarrassing. That's meant to be the leader, and it's embarrassing. But the positive from that is the VAR actually got something right for once, which makes a change. Greenwood comes on. He had an effort saved on his left foot in the box, took a shot. Johnson saved it, and then the follow-up from McTominay, first time hit again. Doesn't take a touch, just hits it straight away. Gets cleared off the line. I've been noticing that a lot with McTominay. He's very good at, that's like his speciality. He's very good at first-time shots without taking a touch. And he nearly done it again today. Obviously, it got cleared off the line, but very close to doing it again. Maguire messing about at the back, muscled off of it by that Diane again. Either put it into the stands or communicate with De Gea. He's either got to come and collect that ball, or you put it into the stands. You can't just stand there and try and play a foul, because you don't win the foul. And he nearly scores from it. Obviously, De Gea saves it with his outstretched leg. and then it bops up and he's about to head it in, and he flaps it and manages to push it wide. He clears it, but that's all because Maguire tries to play for a foul. Doesn't get the foul, and obviously they need to concede from it. So again, embarrassing, and that's from the captain. Bruno had a free kick just outside the box on the left-hand side, similar to the position he scored against Arsenal. But he puts it to the back post, a floated cross to Maguire, who I think they won a corner from it. But why are you not shooting from there? Like, it's the dying moments of the game, the last few minutes. Perfect position for you to get one up over the wall or to the right-hand bottom corner like he did against Arsenal. And he floats it to the back post to Maguire, who we get a corner from it, but we don't get nothing after that. Do you know what I mean? We don't get a goal from it. I just feel like it was a wasted opportunity, and I feel like Bruno should have took that and had a shot. Diane, again, should score. Skied one over the bar. I think it might have been Furlong that put a great cross into the box, and he's kind of stretching, falling over Diane. Lindelof misses it. Diane stretches to it, and it, luckily for us, it goes over the bar. But a great cross as well. That Diane, mate, I'm not sure where they got him from, but the whole game, he caused us problems, especially Lindelof. In the last moments of the game, Maguire gets a header. Looks like it's going in. Johnson gets his fingertips to it, tips it onto the post. What a save. Like, I can only applaud it. Maguire could have lived up and made up for a lot of his mistakes in this game with that winner, but it doesn't go in. And we get a draw with second bottom of the table. I didn't realise they were second bottom before kickoff, and then it showed it just as we were kicking off, and I was like, I knew they were down there, but I didn't realise they were that deep down. But watching that game, you wouldn't know that they're that far down in the table compared to where we are, second bottom, and they put in a performance like they're right next to us in the table. So I think it's on the players today a lot. I think Ollie has a lot to do with it as well, though. Just not good enough. Second bottom in the table. I think even Liverpool, with all the mistakes they're making at the moment, either get a draw or win that game. Yes, we get a draw, but I feel like we're not controlling the games and taking charge of them as much as Liverpool would, as much as City would, even though Liverpool are messing up lately. So it's not good. I was super confident we were going to get the 3 points today, even when we went 1-0 down, because it was very early on in the game, the first 2 minutes of the game, that goal happens. Well, less than 2 minutes, and we got all that time to make up for it, and we don't. So obviously it's better than a loss, but it feels like a loss because of the position in the table, and we've got to be beating teams like this if we're going to call ourselves one of the biggest teams in the world. It's embarrassing. It really is. So match ratings, player ratings, David De Gea gets I'm going to give him a 7 today. Crucial saves at times, kept us in the game. Diane could have had at least a hat-trick today, but he doesn't because of David De Gea. So David De Gea for me is my man of the match. I'm just going to get that out of the way right now. As I said, if it weren't for some of the saves he made, we would have lost this game. Simple as that. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he was out of position a few times on the counter. Going forward, he got forward well again, but his delivery was poor today. Recently, he's been improving on that with a few assists, but didn't work out today. But I give him an average. Lindelof, I thought was atrocious today. Strength on the ball, aerial, just everything was going wrong for him. I'd give him a 3. Maguire, just below average with a 4. Diane thing where he gets muscled off of it from Diane when he should just clear it, or David De Gea come and collect it. You got to communicate or clear the ball, and he doesn't either. So nearly puts David De Gea at fault there because of all the stuff pre-game that he was getting blamed for, and they're analysing. That would have been again on David De Gea when it's Maguire's fault. So terrible from who's supposedly supposed to be the captain. Maguire gets below an average with a 4. Could get the winner at the end, but it doesn't happen. Shaw gets an average for me. I thought his delivery was okay today, not as good as it has been, but his energy was still good, but not. I don't think it was above average today for sure, but I don't think anyone was, to be honest. Fred gets a 4. I just don't think in the middle that he really did anything. I don't think he was as bad. Oh, I'd just like to say as well, I just remembered, in the video before kickoff, I said that we played against Everton in the Cup. I don't know why that was in my head. It was obviously West Ham, so I'm going to hold my hands up to that. I got that wrong. I meant to say West Ham. I don't know why I was saying Everton. But Fred, for me, in the West Ham Cup game was terrible. I don't think he was as bad as that today, but just not dominant in the midfield. Like I felt like we needed someone in the midfield to take control of that game today, and it was lacking. It wasn't the only one, but I just don't think he was even average. So Fred gets a 4. McTominay, I'd give an average, slightly better than Fred for me. He's just a bit stronger on the ball, and positionally I think he's a bit better than Fred. I thought he just ticked over nicely today, but wasn't outstanding. Could have got that shot as well that got cleared off the line, so nearly got a goal. An average. Rashford, I'll give a 4 to. Put that good cross in for Martial at one point, but a lot of times again today he overplayed it. He beats players and then he turns back on himself and has to beat that player again when he should just cross it. Overplayed it for me today. Below an average with a 4. Bruno was trying to make things happen all game. He was getting very frustrated again. I thought he was going to maybe potentially get a booking or get sent off, because I felt like he was on the edge today, but he was still trying. I just don't understand why he didn't take that free kick on at the end and shoot. But a frustrating game for Bruno, but I think he was still one of the better players, but I'd give him an average with a 5. Martial and Cavani I both give 3s to. I don't think that they offered anything really today. Didn't get a lot of service, but sometimes you've got to demand that ball and go and get it sometimes, and I don't think they did that. Not good enough for me today from them two. Donny and Greenwood I both give an average of. I thought they both looked pretty lively when they came on. Not bad by them two, but didn't have a great deal of time, but did okay when they came on. So Ollie for me gets a 3 today. Substitutes I think could have been made earlier again. Tactically okay, but I don't know why Maguire thinks he's like Iniesta or Xavi and he's pushing up so much trying to be a playmaker, because when he loses it, he's the slowest one to get back. So I think Ollie's telling him to have the confidence to do that, but it doesn't work. So I think that's partly to Ollie to blame. I just don't think he commands the touchline like when he needs to, and the players look to him sometimes, and I just don't think he's there to inspire them so much. So I don't think it's all on him today, but do you know what I mean? Second bottom of the table we go to. We have to get a result. It's better than a loss, but it feels like a loss. And I think City beat these today. I think Liverpool potentially beat them, even with the mistakes they're making. I think Chelsea beat them. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's a problem. We have to win this game today, and we come away with a point. As I said, if it weren't for De Gea, we would really be crying right now. I mean, I think a lot of us are, but do you know what I mean? We'd feel even worse if it weren't for David De Gea today. And I bet he won't get the credit that he should, because of what they were all doing beforehand, before the game kicked off, with all the analysing on him and putting him in the social media and the papers and everything. Look, I do think he makes mistakes at times, but today he's my man of the match today, easily. So I hope that he gets some recognition today for his performance, because he deserves it. Terrible result for us. Feels like a loss. We could have not come away with anything, but it feels like that even though we got a point. So disappointed today. Yeah, not happy. Shout out to everyone supporting. Shout out all the haters as well. I ain't going nowhere. Get used to it, and get used to the dressing gown if it's cold too. So I'll be back with the next game, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Well, you can't really enjoy today, can you? I mean, it's better than a loss, but it feels like a loss. I'll catch you in the next game, guys.